olive
It's
branch.
an olive branch.
Kind of
Yeah.
like, it's kind of like what Trump's doing, going over to Riyadh, to Saudi Arabia later on this month to meet with, have the big Arab summit over there. He's even invited people, I guess they've invited people from Pakistan. Where else have they invited them from?
Trump will talk to anybody.
Yeah,
That's what people don't get.
He'll talk to anybody.
He'll talk to anybody.
Get some Arab, get some good relations going so we can fight terrorism, because I can assure you that a lot of those people in those countries don't want the terrorists that are running around there and breeding grounds there and going out around the world. They all want to fight it too. So I think he's going to work really hard at that. And of course, the Arab-Israeli relations, he's going to work at that. So he's out there. He's moving, he's shaking, and he's putting where his money, where his mouth is. And I think that this distraction today with Comey is going to allow for a lot of things like that to happen, but most immediately just healthcare. I mean, we know Senate's got to rewrite that bill. So while we're all talking about Comey and the press is going down that rabbit hole and they're going to try and still talk about Russia, the Senate will be off quietly in a corner with their 13 person panel, and they'll bang out a healthcare proposal and then bring it to the forefront, and wham, that thing will get slammed through. You'll see.
Yeah, 48 hours on this thing. Don't worry about it. Go ahead, Brian.
The trip she's talking about is a epic historical trip. And I'm glad you brought that up, because what he's doing is he's going to the Vatican first, which will be the Catholic Christian religion. Then he's going to Saudi Arabia to go into the Muslim religion. And then he's going to Israel for the Jewish religion. The man is on this trip to bring together all three religions, along with that Muslim summit you talked about. And when I read that he was going to all three of those, and not one person in the media put that together and mixed it up to say, wow, now this is a beautiful trip here, where we're going to look at everyone in the world and say, guys, we've been living in this state of fear and wasting billions and trillions of dollars for a small group of thousands of people that are trying to destroy the world. Let's get together. Let's figure out a solution together to stop this little tiny group from destroying our lives, so we have more money to apply toward the people that really need it, and we can live in freedom throughout the world. And I see Donald Trump bringing that to these countries as he goes there. And it's going to be a historical moment. And what kills me is that the media, this freaking old sick media, is not going to present it to the people the way it should be presented, like I just did, which is a religious historical pilgrimage that he's taking. And it's going to be a big thing in terms of how the Muslims and the Jews live side by side in the Middle East. And I see this guy actually having an opportunity to really fixing it without having that political elephant in the room. And if he could do that, guys, we're going to see an incredible 8 years. So this trip that she just brought up is really a gigantic moment for the country.
Absolutely. Brendan, what do you think?
Oh, I agree. I think that one of the things that President Trump is doing for America, whether they realize it or not, is you can't make any sort of progress without sitting at the table and talking. And I think that what he's really trying to, his actions show a man that as much as he can be kind of flippant and obviously sharp-tongued, he still will sit down with his quote-unquote enemies. He will still sit down with people with the opposite views of him. And that willingness to simply converse is how you avoid violence. That's how you avoid a lot of the issues that we run into. And I think right now he's showing this country, it doesn't matter what side of the aisle you sit on, as long as you're willing to sit at the table and have conversations and talk it out extensively, repeatedly until you're both exhausted. And what you'll eventually do is you'll find common ground. And when you find common ground, that's something you can build on. And I think that's what he's doing with these religious leaders. And on this trip is he's going to go out there and he's going to have conversations, sincere conversations, a willingness to listen to what their grievances are, what their concerns are, what their goals are. And then he's going to start doing what he does, being Donald Trump, master negotiator, finding common ground, finding commonality between the nations and different religions. And I think I really do believe the same, that this could be a very big moment in world history because of that, because of this willingness to have this dialogue. I think it's a beautiful thing. And I agree. I wish that the media would probably report on this a little bit more honestly, because it is such a beautiful thing. It is something that should be celebrated by anyone, simply because of what it means. And I don't know that we're necessarily going to get the honest reporting on it, but that's okay, because we'll do it here. So
I'll hear about it here. New media, Your Voice America.
Yep.